good afternoon, or good morning. Today we will be talking about the World War I Brodie helmet here at the Veterans National Shrine and Museum off of O'Day Road in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So the Brodie helmet was a steel combat helmet originally made by the British during the First World War. At the beginning of the First World War, most nations, excluding the Germans, had no official helmets when they entered into combat, but they did rather have fatigue caps or service caps, which offered almost no protection. The first helmet was designed and patented in 1915 by John Leopold Brody, with him producing the Type A, which was initially introduced in 1915. The helmet's shell, or the pot, the steel part, was originally made out of magnetic milled steel. The next version made by Britain was the Type B, which had a woolly redesign in the liner on the inside of the helmet, as well as milled steel rim in the spring of 1915. Now, when the United States entered the war, they initially purchased 700,000 Brodie helmets to equip the American Expeditionary Force in 1917. The first copies made by the United States Brodie helmets, was before the end of 1917, with around 2,700,000 Brodie helmets being made by the end of the First World War. There are three variants of the helmets. You have the M1917, which was differed a little differently than the original British, which had rivets that had a different on the steel lining that connected to the chin strap, which is also thicker leather made than the British chin straps. And then next we have the World War I M1917A1, which was different a bit. It had almost everything the same. The difference is the original World War I Brodie helmets made by the Americans didn't have a rubber inlining or a donut pad, as if you would. But in the later versions of the M1917A1, they would have the rubber parts inside of it. And then it would be introduced and patented and allowed into service in 1934 by the United States government. The last variant that was officially really made was also the M1917, but it was a civil defense helmet, which most of them, or if they made new ones, were transformed into them. Usually, this one isn't officially one, but it's a World War II Cold War. It is very similar to one. It would have white paint around it, around the Brodie helmet, right here. It would usually have white paint. So, and the difference being, it would have a civil defense logo on top of it, which had a blue circle around the front, a triangle made of white on the inside, and then inside the triangle either had white or red stripes going through it, or later years CD for civil defense. So these are three of the Brodie helmets we have here at the museum. We have multiple, but these are probably the ones in the better condition and more plain. This one still has its original paint, which was a somewhat dark olive green beige color. And then this one is a little rusty, but it's still in good condition for how rusted it is. Like this one I said was also not official World War I, but World War II Cold War Civil Air Defense, which also would be worn by air wardens during the Cold War. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It will help us out here at the Veterans National Shrine and Museum. Have a great day.